Guys, welcome back to another Warzone breakdown. Today we're going to be discussing Ashika Island and why players are excelling at a slower rate than those with 2 and 3 KDs. A lot of you guys have come over to the custom PC gaming world since the release of Warzone 1 and Warzone 2, which leads me to today's video sponsor, SoftwareKeep. With SoftwareKeep, you guys can purchase software conveniently from anything between Windows to Microsoft Office, all the way down to antiviruses. And one of the reasons why I accepted this sponsorship is because recently I have been scammed myself. I had to purchase 3 keys from 3 different websites in order to get one that worked. Also, if you are an OG, you remember these old videos where I used to have this ugly watermark, and when you're using those underground third-party cheap key websites, you're going to get window keys that expire and a lot of issues. SoftwareKeep offers digital keys with top-notch customer service 24/7, 365. When you do purchase from them, all your purchases are secured and safe with lifetime product guarantee. If you guys like me, you like to talk to a person, that way they actually answer your questions. That's another good thing about SoftwareKeep is they don't use AI and bots in order to answer customer service questions. When you purchase with SoftwareKeep, you can use a variety of different payment methods. You can receive the product within 30 minutes or less. You also get a 30-day money-back guarantee to make sure you guys are satisfied with the product. And last and most importantly, guys, if you utilize code SAVAGE20, you get a 20% additional discount when you purchase from their website. I'll be leaving a link in the comment section below as well as in the description, so guys, make sure you check that out. But without any further ado, all right, guys, there's a simple fact I want to go over real quick because honestly, it's just heartbreaking seeing it happen. Now, Ashika Island has quickly become one of my favorite game modes, which is weird because during Warzone 1, I just was not a Resurgence player by heart. I completely enjoy the big map more. But nonetheless, guys, what I've seen from a lot of players is heartbreaking, and it really kind of slows the game down for everybody, especially themselves. Guys, if you are sitting in a corner playing for the win and you are not competent at getting kills and hitting your shots, you might secure some wins here and there. You might get one a day, one a week, one a month, one a year. We don't know. But you guys are excelling at a slower rate than those that are hot dropping and going for kills. Now, before y'all start slaying me in the comment section, I know getting kills is not the objective. I'm not an idiot. But developing the reaction time, the strategy, the snaps, the accuracy, knowing what guns to use, learning the recoil patterns, learning whatever movement we have in the game, that is necessary to secure the win. I have witnessed hundreds of players that I'm playing against and that I'm spectating sitting in corners of claymores, holding down a building until the very end game, and then when they emerge and have to rotate, they get absolutely destroyed because they don't understand pre-rotating the gas, getting gas masks, what guns to use. And honestly, I feel bad for players out there because of the mindset of I got to get a win right off the rip. Winning will come eventually, but guys, I'm telling you right now, chase down fights. If you spend 1 week hot dropping Resurgence every game, I promise you, and this is not a sales pitch, you will become better at Warzone within that 1 week. And then if you push it to a month, I mean, we're talking about a game that'll probably be around for 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 years if it doesn't die. So what is 1 week or 1 month out of your time? Not to mention having more action, win or lose, you're gonna have more fun. But we're going to discuss these players today, and duos is a really good mode to practice in. It's just a lot slower, so if you guys don't want to get super hot, I recommend duos. Lobbies die off relatively fast. It's a lot slower paced. Trios, in my opinion, is the perfect balance because you have a lot of action, you have teams respawning constantly, and you can kind of break your PRs. Quads gets a little crazy. Not my favorite, but I will play it. I also recommend you guys playing solo duos and then eventually solo trios. Again, the reason for that is when you can learn how to take on a 1v2, then when you get to a game when you're playing with your squad or you're playing solos, having a 1v1 is going to be nothing for you guys. But right now, here we are looting, and there's really no strategy on where you guys want to go. It's just preference. You know, beginning game, mid game, there's really not much strategy with rotations. And I'm not going to nitpick where these guys are going. If you get your weapons, if you buy them, wait for the loadout, do whatever you guys feel is necessary. But again, I want to see you guys chasing down kills. Now, it does look like we're coming over here. It looked like we were actually going to be chasing down the four-wheeler at first, but he did drive away. And I think he's just following them on the street. Stun coming out. Players camping in the building. No surprise there. Good job with patience, honestly. Instead of just b-hop around the corner, he laid prone, waited for the enemy to round the corner, and there it was. And if you're in the enemy's mindset too, like I love the push for sure, but again, misdirection. When you threw the thermite, when you threw the stun, you knew the enemy was going to try to turn to the only direction you could probably push from. So what I would have done in that aspect is one of two things. One, jumped over the fence to try to come up behind the enemy. or two, kind of play the corner against the wall. You don't want to back away from the wall and lose a little bit of cover and concealment you have. Just kind of scan. That way, if you get shot, you can bounce back and play it up and play the entire fight. Him putting himself out there in the open was really detrimental to his death. Now that fight there, that's a simple thing. And again, notice how we were in the open, not very much cover at all. The enemy was playing the corner of the building and he was able to get the best shots off. And again, even if we would have won that gunfight and cracked the enemy first, he had that building he could have played. You can't always be next to cover and concealment in a gunfight, especially in this mode with shit so crazy and you're getting shot from 19 different directions. But if it's a 1v1, you have something next to you, please, for love of everything that's holy, grab it and hold it. It is a 1v2 right now, at least. We did see 2 different skins. Again, misdirect. We're sitting in the same area, right? So right now, we don't know where his teammates are, and we're also making noise, so other enemies are going to know where we're at. So when you get that crack, you have to push one of 2 ways or close the gap, right? We knew that there were 2 there, so pushing out towards the rock would have been crazy. Push the left-hand side, we didn't know what was over there, so I wouldn't have recommended that. We came from the right-hand side, so that's the way I would have pushed, because we came that direction with no flak. I would have pushed that direction, hopefully, again, gotten no flak. So that crack was basically useless. And again, I'm not telling you guys to push every time you get a crack, right? If you can do so safely, absolutely. But sometimes patience comes to play. And it looks like he wanted to push just the complete wrong direction. Good job misdirecting the enemy. Enemy expecting us to still be where we were shooting at originally when he shot us. Coming around, whether it was intentional or not, it was a good display of just low misdirection, because as you saw, we caught him in the back. All right, going in right now, I believe a 1v2. I'm not sure if green's with us right now. Or, I'm sorry, yellow. We hear footsteps around us. Not sure why our teammates smoked us. Again, there's really no reason for us to be doing this. So all we had to do is stay on the top floor. We kind of just threw this fight and made it a lot harder than it had to be. A little slow reaction time with the shots right there, relying on the hip fire, which isn't bad with this gun. I'm curious to see why not in a gunfight where he doesn't have the enemy stunned or flashed, because again, when he jumped up here, he should have been snapped on that enemy way sooner, but there was a nice delay. So if the enemy wouldn't have been stunned, I think he probably would have outshot us. And again, guys, stuns win fights, flashes win fights, smokes win games. Resurgence, you can kind of go either way with that. Big map, more or less, that fact stands true. But even in Resurgence, guys, I love rocking smokes, because when it comes to in-game, you know how those random circles kind of shift wherever the hell they want. Most of the time, you're not favored. I'm not favored. It just goes crazy. And the best thing that's going to help me in that situation is smoking myself. Hopefully have a gas mask, which most of the time we do. If you're in-game, pre-rotate that zone and get to better spots. So again, I live by the creed: smokes win games, flashes and stuns win gunfights. All right, a little separation from our squad here recently. We do have a bounty on us, or we have a bounty on them, I should say, sitting, I believe, the rooftop. Let's pull up the map and see where they're at. No, they're actually rotating away. Well, look, we don't need anything. We're sitting here open crates and stuff like that. We have a gas mask. We have a shit ton of money. We have everything we really need. So all we're doing is delaying the inevitable, right? We allowed the enemy to actually push from this area to the rooftop, when we probably could have got him caught up off guard. Now, there are multiple ways on top of the roof. He might be below, he might be on the roof. Let's see where he's at before I start directing you guys on how to push. All right, Moss Man going in, I believe, with the shotgun, getting a nice kill. Here we are going to the rooftop. There's the knock. Oh, all right, so right there, look. You see that AC unit we just played? All we had to do is keep playing that. We had an angle on both those enemies. Of course, you want to go for the hurt person first, because you can just 1-2 tap him to get him knocked and then finish the other guy. But we lost our cover and concealment once again, and we just got absolutely beamed and railed. I do like the fact that we pushed up that one side to get to the rooftop, which is, again, unfortunately, there's a whole team up there waiting for us. And also, again, unfortunately, we lost our cover. It's probably one of the few games I've actually spectated where we're not being like third-partied all the time. And Enemy catches up the window. I mean, I wouldn't have expected that either. Most of the time people play the top or the bottom, mostly the top. Not really sure what his play was sitting on that rock, because even if we're on that rock right there on that hill, you can get shot from the castle mountain, you get shot from this rooftop and here, so you're kind of pinched. You're 360-degree vulnerable. I wouldn't mind him pushing up to help his teammate out. But now we just have to wait on Moss Man. Hopefully he survives another 15 seconds, 7 seconds. We're coming back in. Again, good job on Moss Man playing the timer too as well. Instead of just diving in there when he had 14 seconds left, he got the kill, got his teammate back in quicker, and then once his teammate started flipping back in, he decided to full send it. I'm not sure exactly what he was full sending, so I'm not going to judge him there. I just started recently playing on controller, and I have no idea how to spectate the next player. Brand new controller gamer here, boys. There we go. I figured it out. All right, again, when you look at the circle, the rooftop's a good spot. So honestly, I climb up this ladder. I would have been way up this ladder long ago and just holding the roof. You could jump here and play that area. It'd be a great spot. But again, if you guys aren't the snappiest, the fastest reaction, rooftop of this won't be the best, because you'll be worrying about people coming up the stairs, coming up the zip line, and also the people on the hills around you that do have an angle. And all of this has an angle. All of this has an angle. And so does this building here. And I believe, no, that one doesn't. Again, here we are on the hill again, vulnerable. There's only 6 teams left. I believe there's 2 teams there, so 4 teams unaccounted for. Now 3 teams unaccounted for. Now this is the moment where you have 2 decisions. Do you want to push that rooftop and fight the whole world? The answer can be yes, no critique there. But again, if you're not the most accurate shot and the best fighter, I would recommend cleaning up the edge of the gas. Right, you want to play the edge, keep your back to the gas. That way you don't get third-partied. If you go center, you're gonna get shot from, again, 360 degrees of just everybody. If you're playing the edge of the gas, you have your back protected. You don't have to worry about what's in front of you. Now that's different advice than I give in Al Mazrah and early game in this mode. But again, mid to end game in this mode here, I'm all for cleaning up the edge instead of just diving in the middle, because a lot of people will not be able to hold down all the ways of entrances. I believe there's actually a ladder on the backside too, so there's 3 ways to the rooftop. So you have to watch a lot of different areas. Of course, you have to worry about precisions and clusters. So you have to take in effect all the tools enemies can utilize, the angles they could be at. Can't tell if they have UAVs in the buy stations or not, so no idea. Unfortunately, enemy had a nice angle on us. Our teammate took a little too long to get the res off. I'm not sure what he was doing. And also, again, I don't know what these buy stations have or don't have, but most of the time they have gas masks. I really wish I could see inside of it. If it does have a gas and you're sitting on 30 grand, please buy a gas mask. Durable or not, if you have none, you have to buy one. Moss Man still alive, going for the execution. We saw enemies pushing from the back inside. Now this shotgun's still pretty decent, but remember they nerfed the range on it, so I highly recommend the Vaznev, the Lockman. Those might kind of only be the 2 guns I'd use as a secondary right now. If you guys are curious on my Vaznev build, I do have that command on my stream, so make sure you guys join my live stream here on YouTube. That way you guys can get the tuning for it, all the attachments and whatnot for every loadout that I use. Now look at the gas right now. We see one enemy thinking about pre-rotating. They're holding the great spot right here. It's coming back up here. So when we have this area, we should just be able to gatekeep everybody coming out. One thing you'll have to look for is people going under, because if they go in the tunnel, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass. They could actually still be down there because it was slightly safe. Yellow, absolute psychopath for remaining there for too long. Enemy to our left. Let's go ahead and divert to him. Lost him, unfortunately. Yellow needs to be aware we're not pinging them out at all. And because we didn't ping out the enemy, Yellow just goes ahead and falls. Lack of teamwork there. But they're able to pull off the win anyway. So the 3 things we saw during that game that I really want to analyze right there is, again, pinging the enemies. We just saw it. Ping your enemies, whether you're killing him or not. I know controller, it's a little bit more rough and difficult to ping than it is on mouse and key, but make sure you guys do that. 2, pre-rotating gas and knowing your tools. That is just crucial. We don't know if there's a gas mask or if they're UAV in that buy station, but I would think one of the 2 was. Make sure if you guys are at buy stations or near it, you're quick, you're decisive. Again, smoke it out, because then you won't get shot from the rooftop. That would have saved his life. 3, and most important of all, do not camp in corners. Thankfully, we didn't witness anybody camped up. This was a huge blessing. It's something we never spectate, especially in this mode. But again, guys, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Suck that dick, dick, dick.